This is Jamba, and I'm here with another video. So this is a guy who I've watched back when he was doing videos. This guy named Hafeez. Some of y'all might know him from the Roommates podcast. This guy, well, I applaud this guy for making a lot of self-improvement content, mainly talking to men, men who want to improve their mental state, their financial. Like he talked about a kind of myriad of things. He was kind of coming up around the same time as, um, like the Kevin Samuels and things of that nature, right? So you more than likely, if you clicked on this video, you probably know who he is. He kind of went away for a while. He got married. Congrats to him. He might have kids at this point. He actually did a debate with another content creator, Coach Greg Adams, which was very interesting. They were talking about marriage and if it's worth it and all that. He was on the side of marriage being worth it, and the other guy, Coach Greg Adams, was on the side of it is not. But anyways, that being said, I saw that he posted, and I'm not sure how long ago he's been doing video. He's recently got back into the YouTube space apparently because he's been away for a while. And he posted this video, "Why Men Are Becoming Weaker," and I wanted to I wanted to react to it. So without further ado, let's dig in.
Men today are weaker than they've ever been before.
Hold on.
Men today are weaker than they've ever been before. The signs of weakness first start into the brain, then move into the body, and then into their social life, where men today are at their weakest. In today's video, I'll be showing how you can fix these 3 areas of your life so you can become a strong, masculine man. Starting with your brain. Number 1, you fulfill your sexual urges with pornography. Porn makes men weak and less masculine. When you're watching pornographic content, you're suppressing your sexual desires every time it arises. And your sexual desires is mainly made up of your inner drive. If you ever had those days where you feel super motivated and extremely productive, that's your inner drive at work. That's why you can't afford to immediately jump on that urge and inject hyper-stimulating content into your brain. You're never letting that drive inside of you develop to help you achieve your goals and tasks. With your porn habit, you're destroying your masculinity at its very root, and this is one of the main reasons why you feel unmotivated, which makes you weak. Number 2,
so I would agree with the whole pornography bit to a certain extent. Well, here's the thing, though. Here's the issue is if you have a group of men who are unable to satisfy that urge in the natural world with the woman, by dating and all that. And it's like, okay, well, you're going to have to channel that energy into something else, but they're still going to have that sex drive. So you might have a situation. I'm not saying this is going to be all men, but if he's not able to do it via pornography, he might get that urge fixed on Figueroa, what I'm saying, on the streets or on the blade. But overall, yeah, like I would agree that pornography is overall not a good thing. So yeah, absolutely.
You're being too nice with women. When you're too nice to women, your brain is wrapped around trying to find validation from them instead of finding a good woman who'll take you seriously. The reason that 10% of men get all the girls to pay attention to them is because the other 90% of men are trying to seek those women's validation.
That has nothing to do with it. Has nothing to do with the reason why. It's because of physical attraction or financial attraction or social attraction, and that's kind of really what it's about. Because if you have a guy who is in the fucking NBA, but he's a guy who is like doing what he's doing, what he's saying not to do, which is being super nice to women, that guy is still going to get a lot of women. So it doesn't have any. He's not wrong in that you should just basically just be yourself and not try to cater. So I agree, but don't say lies. Don't say shit that's not true. You know what I mean? It's not because of that.
Is a major mental weakness that a lot of men have. To stop being a nice guy, I want you to follow these 3 principles.
Okay.
Number 1, stop over complimenting them. Compliment them only when it's genuine, but don't keep on complimenting them because you're trying to get something in return. 2, don't overextend yourself. Don't do anything for them that you won't do to anybody else. Number 3, create boundaries. If you're constantly changing your behavior just to please a girl, you'll eventually lose your sense of self and still pick up on that weakness.
Yes, this is some good stuff. I think this is some stuff. I mean, and I hope that maybe he's like kind of reinvigorating his channel. These are stuff that content that would be good for, especially young men. I would even say even in maybe high school or even or college, really. One thing I will say though, speaking on that, there's a lot of, and I'm gonna have to do a separate video on this. There's a lot of really, really based teenagers out there. I work with kids, and I was around one teenager in particular, and he was dropping some red pill truths, and I couldn't really argue with them or whatever. I was just kind of trying to ask him where you got these ideas from. But that being said, most men are not, even young men are not quite there yet. So yeah, no, these are some good stuff so far.
this, and then she'll use that to take advantage of you more often. Maintain your independence and stop seeking validation. If you do these things, not only will you be more attractive, but this will allow you to be in control with all your interactions. Number 3, don't have any control over your phone. Your phone makes you a weak-minded man. If you're always on your phone, here's a way how to break your phone addiction. When you're constantly on your phone, you're training your brain to crave high dopamine levels, which only come from quick stimulation. Over time, this dependence that you build prevents you from being able to be self-disciplined and focus at a task for days or weeks at a time. I know you tried setting limits before, but the reality is you tried setting them the wrong way. What you should be doing is looking at your most used apps and write down how much hours you spend that day. Then what I want you to do is take 90% of that number and set that as your phone time limit. The next week, you can go ahead and update your limits to 80% of that number, and you decrease every week after that. I just showed you how your brain.
It's a pretty good tactic. Yeah, and the brain whole dopamine thing, that was something that I was looking into myself. So this is some really relevant stuff. And I, being on the apps, and I'm trying to, even in my own life, and he's basically saying not to do a cold turkey, which makes a lot of sense, like to kind of wean yourself off of it, right?
Brain is becoming weak, and you may not feel like this.
And I know that this is going to lead to some sort of a training thing, or some sort of an ebook, or some sort of like a. He does like these some sort of like a club or whatever. Like I know where this is going, but shout out to him. I mean, I think it's still a good thing. This is part of his hustle, but so far the content's pretty good.
Big deal, but this is what's causing your body to become weak. I have 6 more tips to show you that's going to help you fix the weaknesses in your body and your social life. Your body. Number 1, your sleep schedule is killing your testosterone. Here's how you're going to stop decreasing your testosterone levels each night. Research from University of Chicago Medicine found that individuals who got less than 5 hours of sleep have reduced testosterone levels by the same amount as aging 10 to 15 years. Your testosterone is crucial for maintaining your muscle mass, your hair growth, your bone density, your sperm count, as well as your libido. The good news is that you can reverse this effect by following a specific pre-bedtime routine. The first thing that you're going to do is take a supplement that's going to offset the effects of having low testosterone. Ingredients like vitamin D, saw palmetto, and zinc are great to boost concentration levels of testosterone in your body, aid in hair loss, and help with sleep regulation. The one that I've been using is called Get Attractive by Get Supplements. It has all the ingredients that I talked about, including 29 more, which will help you with nail strength, skin clarity, as well as thickening your hair follicles. Next, you'll change the lighting in your room. Opt in for yellow or orange lights because these have been shown to not impact your circadian rhythm. Last, when it's time to sleep, you need a dark environment. So what I suggest is get some blackout curtains to be able to help make that happen. This will help improve your melatonin levels and help you fall asleep faster. Following these steps will help.
This is some good stuff. Really, really simple, easy. And it's weird because these are a lot of these tips are things that you would think you shouldn't have to be really taught, right? I mean, these are getting good sleep is, well, I guess if you're like a young man, you might be up at night doing, on video games or on pornography, on Discord, X, Y, and Z. So, and you start to, you kind of believe that you don't need sleep as much. And to be fair, there are men who don't really need to sleep as much, right? There are men who go to bed at 11 and wake up at 4 or 5 and are good to go. But generally speaking, you do need your sleep, y'all.
Increase your testosterone level by fixing your sleep schedule. Number 2, your workout routine is making you weak. Here is a lifting schedule you need to follow in order to get stronger in the gym. When it comes to working out, there are 3 types of guys. Most of you guys are the second type of guy. The first guy just wings it and does whatever he feels like that day. He never really receives results and his strength never goes up each month. The second guy follows a classic bro split and only works major muscle groups once a week. He sees progress in the gym but is slow and demotivating. The third type of guy takes a scientific approach. He trains his major muscle groups twice a week to optimize his muscle growth. He also takes vitamins B6 and zinc to help with muscle repair, as well as iron to help with his endurance and his energy levels. This guy sees his strength levels increase each month, and he gets the same results as.
I hope he touches on this, but a big part of this, man, and look, I'm not the person, I'm not the poster boy for this. You know, this guy is in better shape. I think he's a shorter guy. However, the big part of this, and I hope he touches on it, is the food, man. The food is the toughest fucking thing about working out. I'm gonna work out later. I'm gonna do my, do my little cardio and shit like that. But eating is, man, that's the toughest thing, especially for some people, man. Like I got food allergies. That shit fucking is tough. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of foods I can't really eat. I get real, like I had a rare steak. Like I cooked the steak rare for once, where I just didn't cook it enough, and man, I got like really sick, and it sucked because I want to incorporate more beef in my diet, and I just don't want to have to always, overcook my fucking my steak to well done, but I might have to do that as opposed to eating it on the more rare side, right? And I'm still trying to figure out how to make my steak. But that being said, working out crucial, but the big part of it, man, is that diet. So hopefully he touches on the diet. If he touches on the diet, then I know that this guy is really legit. If he kind of skips over the diet, I don't think that he will, but let's see.
As a second guy with only using a fraction of the time. Here's a routine that you need to follow. On Mondays and Thursdays, you need to train chest, triceps, and abs. On Tuesdays and Fridays, you need to be training your abs every day and every night, like the ones from Get Attractive. This will help enhance the
It's kind of like a big ad. Okay, all right.
benefits of working out, and you're going to see significant progress in the gym when it comes to your body and your strength. You can subscribe right now and get 20% of your order each time you don't, and confidence. A body shape. Learning to dress for your body type instantly signifies maturity and confidence. A common mistake that guys will take is that they just assume that people will accept them regardless of how they look like. Research shows that people form impressions in just a tenth of a second, mostly based on looks. So dressing for your body type is essential so you don't look weak. Wearing clothes that don't fit tend to highlight your weakness, and having well-fitted clothes,
It doesn't necessarily, I don't think it necessarily highlights weakness. It more so highlights the economics, right? So if you're a guy and you're dressed like in a suit like this man, then you're going to automatically assume that he's economically, viable, economic. Like that's really what it is. It's not. I wouldn't say it's necessarily. I wouldn't say it's necessarily weakness, because if you have like if you have a relatively short, kind of mousy looking guy in a really well done suit, um, I wouldn't say he looks strong. There's weak looking guys who wear suits, but you wouldn't say that they look broke. But I get what he's saying. I'm splitting hairs a little bit, but
really show off your strengths. Here's how to get started. First, you need to measure your shoulders from seam to seam. Then you'll measure your chest by wrapping the measuring tapes under your armpits and around your back. Next, measure your waist, so be sure to do it an inch below your belly button. Finally, measure your hips, which is your widest parts of your rear end. Once you have these, what clothes that you need to be wearing. B shape, opt for fitted clothing that will be able to accentuate your shoulders. O shape, wear darker clothes because this will help slim your figures, and go for straight cut fitted pieces. X shape, oversized clothing works best for this body type. I frame, you have
wait. Over. Okay, really quickly. This is a little weird.
wear darker clothes because this will help slim your figures, and go for.
Or you could just lose that weight so that you can actually be slim. Like if you're a dude and you have an oval shape, as in basically he's just saying a fat guy. So if you're like a fat dude, or if you have like a gut, then why would you get the clothes tailored and do all that if you should be working out and getting slimmer anyway? You know what I mean?
For straight cut fitted pieces. X shape, oversized clothing works best for this body type.
Now I think that's a little weird, because it's like, well, oversized, and why would it be oversized? Is because your shape is kind of weird. I've known a guy who had the shape, basically it's like the wider hips, like it's like a little, the best archetype of shape is the first guy, right? So if you're gonna, I don't know, I just, he's not wrong. I don't think he's wrong, but it's just like oversized. Excuse me. He's saying oversized because it's just not an attractive shape.
frame. You have the ideal model frame, so almost all clothes will work great for you. I have now fixed the weaknesses that are plaguing your brain and your body.
He didn't touch on the food, but that's fine. I mean, I'm pretty sure if you buy his course, then he's gonna get more into that. So this is gonna be the most interesting part. Let's see the social.
Last part is that I have to fix your social life,
Uh-oh.
tying everything together,
Uh-oh.
making you a well put together, stronger man. Social life. Number one, use the barrier to entry principle when approaching women. If you struggle to approach women, here's how I'm going to fix it. The moment you step into a
Okay. Before he even starts, right? My only issue with this guy's been married for a couple years. And one thing that a lot of these guys do is, especially guys who've been in relationships for a minute or guys who've been married for a little cool minute, is that they'll try to give advice to men who aren't married or who are single when they haven't been in the dating market for a while. Some guys, not him specifically, but some guys will be married for, you got guys who've been married for 10 plus fucking years and still trying to coach guys on how to date women today. And I'm like, how do, like, you know what I mean? So, but he's only been married for a couple years. Let's just give him a shot. What's he going to say?
social environment, your thoughts start working against you. Your mind goes to negative thoughts relating to doubts and fears. This creates what is known as high barriers to entry, and this makes your ability to approach people impossible. You need to eliminate your barriers to make it as easy as possible when approaching women. This is a lot easier than most people think. Stop thinking that you need to approach people who are out of your league. This only makes things harder. Instead, look for people who look shy and as comfortable as you feel. Once you do,
wait, what? Okay, I'm rewinding it.
Than most people think. It's possible when approaching women. You need to eliminate your barriers to make it as easy as possible when approaching women. This is a lot easier than most people think. Stop thinking that you need to approach people who are out of your league. This only makes things harder. Instead, look for people who look shy and as comfortable as you feel.
What? Look at people who are what? I'm trying to track this shit, bro. Like I'm Hafeez, you're not watching this. I'm trying to figure this out. I applaud you for wanting to help these young men, but this okay. One more time. I'm not going to remind no more. This is the last time.
You need to eliminate your barriers to make it as easy as possible when approaching women. This is a lot easier than most people think. Stop thinking that you need to approach people who are out of your league.
Stop thinking that you need to approach people who are out of your league. Most men don't approach people who are out of their league. Most women who are super attractive don't really get approached like that. Number one, so I'm just confused and also too, if an average guy is approaching an average woman or a woman that he perceives that he can get, 9 times out of 10, that woman feels like she's out of his league. So you know what I mean? So like who determines what if he's in the same league as her or not?
Only makes things harder. Instead, look for people who look shy and as comfortable as you feel.
Look for people who look shy and as comfortable as you feel. I've never heard this before. I'm going to have to think more about it. I think it's a little hogwashy, but yeah.
You do that, move on to the next person and do that again. Number 2,
move on to the next person in the same environment or just in general. If it's in the same environment and you got a rejection, and if you try to quickly move on to the next woman, you're probably going to get a rejection again because you have poisoned the well. So, but I know he probably didn't mean that specifically, but that piece of advice was a little weak saucy list, but we got 2 more here, people, and I'm enjoying this video. I'm enjoying what this guy is trying to do for guys. I don't even know what happened to the other guy because it's the roommates, not the roommate. So where's the other guy?
Tailor your body language for confidence. Here are 3 body language hacks that will help you stop looking weak and help you start looking confident. Most men appear weak because they don't understand how their body language either makes or break how people are going to treat them. The first thing starts with your arms and hands. Never cross your arms or put your hands in your pockets. Keep your hands open and use them when you talk. This will help prevent you from coming off anxious, scared, or uncomfortable. Number 2 is eye contact. You should never...
I don't know about the whole using your hands to talk thing. I think that's just something that you like to do. But there's a lot of people who they ain't gotta talk. They just or just I don't the whole body language thing. I think I'm not gonna say it's completely subjective, but if if Mike Tyson is crossing his arms while he's talking, or he got his hands in his pockets, there's plenty of dudes where you see got their hands in their pockets, and I just don't really kind of buy that. Because if you talking with your hands like this, which I've done, or I still do, and even my dad does it, I would say you get labeled as anxious as well, because you're talking with your hands. There's a lot of movement and all this other shit, right? You can, present like, but you don't. I don't know.
Avoid contact with people, especially women. Follow the 80-20 rule. Make eye contact 80% of the time and look away 20% of the time. Number 3 is your
I
posture.
I agree with the eye contact. Maybe not putting your head 80-20, but just in general, that's a good rule of thumb.
Never eye
Just in general,
contact
have to have eye contact to some, that people should do.
80% of the time and look away 20% of the time. Number 3 is your posture. Never have your back rounded with your chest crumbled up and
Where's his wedding ring? I hope he's still married. I'm pretty sure he's still married, but why he should have he should have that shit proud. I mean, because this woman was really attractive, or is really attractive, like she's a pretty woman. But okay, next thing.
and look away 20% of the time. Number 3 is your posture. Never have your back rounded with your chest crumbled up, and worst of all, with your head down. Instead, keep your shoulders up, your chest up, and your head as well. This will project confidence in the way that you carry yourself. These simple adjustments will show people that you're not weak and that you're comfortable with yourself. Number 3, you're letting people walk all over you. When you understand this, your whole perspective will change. A lot of you guys let people walk all over you and not even realizing it. There are certain reactions that people have that you need to realize to stop this from happening to you. People who can't communicate think that every disagreement is an argument. And people who lack accountability take every piece of feedback as an attack. And people with little to no self-awareness sees every boundary as a betrayal. Most other times, people's behaviors reflect the inability to deal with them.
I'm kind of over this video now. But shout out to Hafeez for coming back with the content, man. I just want to see what you were doing. Because I watched Roommates back in the day, man. I watched this stuff. So hopefully he creates more content soon. He gets his stuff back out there. But this is Jamba, and I'll be back with more content for you.